Exactly, 3 p.m. Friday.
Okay, yeah.
So first thing I wanted to go over was just how I do my um, daily watch list. I'm just going to touch
Yeah.
on that real briefly. I use this one. So I print this sheet out every day and in I write in the reasons why each pair doesn't make the watch list. If it makes the watch list, I'll put a little star and then I'll end up typing up the rationale for it being on the watch list. But I like to add these notes in here for the reasons why it doesn't make the watch list. So the next day, if I'm looking and say Aussie Swiss had a good short, but it recently rejected the 4 hour 50. So I would put on there good entry, but recent 4 hour rejection. Then the next day, when I go and I look and I'm like, oh, good thing I didn't take that because trading into it would have been a loss. Or I can look at it and go, oh, look, it worked out this time. Why did it work this time? And then I can just make a little note on there, recent double top or something like that. And then I can just start kind of keeping track of if there's any correlation between certain things. And then maybe I can figure out, oh, okay, I can trade through the 4 hour 50 if this, and this is present. I guess it just kind of
Right.
helps me keep track of the next day if I look and I'm like, oh look, it looks like that was a good trade. I missed that. Why did I miss that? And then I can just go back to the previous day's notes and be like, oh, okay, there's a keys level there or something like that. Just to kind
Right.
of
So it's just a brief note on, yeah, why you wouldn't trade that pair for the day or why it's not on your daily
exactly
watch list.
real brief, real brief. Don't I mean I hardly ever even fill up this one line. Just quick notes as to why you're turned off by it. I mean, some of
Right.
them I just write consolidation, sitting at
Yeah,
key
sure.
level, just stuff like
Yeah.
that. That's what
Would
I
you
like to
still look through
do.
all those? Would you still look through the pairs that aren't on your weekly watch list and write a small summary or?
Um, yes, I actually would.
Right. Okay. Yep.
So I guess we can start with Aussie Swiss. Aussie Swiss finally broke down this key level. I was worried about when we started getting these high tests. I was worried that it was going to be a break and retest, and we kind of got a fake out there, but we got the lower high, and now we're broken below this level. So this looks like it's going to just keep going at least until the weekly 50. We'll have to look and see
Yeah.
the daily. Are we below the daily 50 now? We're below the daily
Yeah.
50.
Just. Yeah.
So I like Aussie Swiss. Aussie Swiss looks like it's going to have some good momentum for next week, at least down to this 74.6 level. So I would definitely put Aussie Swiss on the watch list. And then let's take a look at your Aussie Yen. Are you still in Aussie Yen?
Yeah. Still an Aussie yen. I think I'm just going to hold this foundation trade for a while since the monthly is so good.
Excellent, excellent.
I'll
Very
probably
cool.
yeah, I'll probably look for a scale in somewhere. Maybe if we get a daily rejection of the 50, maybe a pullback to 50 would be a possible play.
Oh yeah, I think that'd be a great scale in. I bet the 4 hour 50's got to be around that. What is that? 86 ish
Yeah, it's probably around daily as well.
or two. Yeah. If you get a retest of this level, that would be a great shorting area.
Yeah, definitely.
So it looks like I see a trend here. It seems like the Aussie pairs are all going to be on watch this week for more bearish pressure.
Yeah.
So we'll take a look at Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD's a tricky one. Aussie CAD's like the trickiest of the Aussie pairs, just because CAD has been super
Yeah.
weak, and it's like weak battling weak here. But now we got a high test on the monthly. I mean, the month isn't over yet, but we're getting pretty close. Well, I guess it's a doji at this point. But we are decelerating. So last week was just a whole lot of sideways action. Um, the daily is still bullish. We're still forming higher highs and higher lows. This is still a higher low, but if we get a lower high, that could be a potential. Actually, right around this 4-hour 50 level.
Yeah,
It's
it would probably set up, if that was to occur, it would probably set up as sort of maybe a daily head and shoulders pattern with that lower
right.
high.
That's the only thing I'm
And
worried
it's,
about with this one. I think Ben brought it up. Someone posted on the forum um, about taking this short off of the 4-hour rejection. The only thing that really bothers me is that we have had this super good run right here, and now we're decelerating. And it seems like a
yeah,
pullback to the 4-hour could be premature because, like you said, we could get like a head and shoulder pattern where price comes all the way up here.
yeah,
So that's the only thing I'd be worried about. Maybe we could get like one of those false 4-hour breaks and get this nice
yeah,
full
yeah,
V
definitely.
and then a good rejection. But Aussie CAD definitely has some potential. I mean, we need more to develop on this throughout the week. But
Yeah,
I would definitely add it to the weekly watch list, and you can put like a number 2 next to it just because it's for
yeah,
later on. Actually, if you want to stay with the trend, you could probably take it. No, there's not enough room to move up to the 4-hour. Yeah, we'll just keep this on the watch for a short.
yeah. I think that ascending trend line on the intraday is quite strong as well. Obviously, now that we've broken, that's
Right.
probably a good indication.
Yeah. If we get a nice retest up here, this could be a really good trade. Assuming this level breaks, this has kind of been a good level. That's why I have this note here that if this level does break, then we're going short for quite a while.
Yeah,
Um, so let's look at Aussie Kiwi. Aussie Kiwi. So Aussie Kiwi is kind of a tricky one just because I'm not quite sure how much further this is going to retrace just because it's been so bullish. I guess it could come down to this next level here. Actually, that does line perfectly with the 50.
yeah. That's sort of my next level of target as well. I'd like to see price probably reach that level.
And now we're double bottoming. I think this failed double bottom is just, or the formation of this double bottom is just people exiting before the weekend. I think this is
Yeah,
just a lot of profit taking. The Aussie Kiwi short doesn't look bad at the beginning of the week. It could, if we get we might get a deeper retrace just for how Sunday starts. People will push it up so they can get in at value to go short. So I like this. I like this for a potential short for the beginning of the week. And then a potential long position once we come down to test the daily. So I like Aussie Kiwi. All these Aussie pairs are
yeah.
looking pretty good. Let's take a look at Aussie dollar. I didn't look and see how this closed. So Aussie dollar, I think out of all the Aussie pairs, this is the one I don't want to play. Just because
Mm.
I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, we broke down, we came back up, we broke down, we came back up. Now we're starting to break down again, and then we came back up, and now we're breaking down again. And I mean, it's a perfect range play, but now we're bouncing off the daily 50. I mean, it could definitely go down and retest the lows of this
It's
previous
crazy
level
how
here.
strong that 77 level has been.
It's
I mean, look at
crazy
the
now,
monthly.
right?
Monthly is sort of starting to form another doji at at that top.
Right. Just at this point in time, I think with all the other Aussie pairs looking so good, I think it just makes sense to put this one on the back burner.
Yeah,
So for this one, I would just write a little note that Stuck in range still. Stuck in range with no known direction. No known like long-term momentous direction.
Yeah.
And as far as um, exposure goes, if you're gonna expose yourself the Aussie weakness, then let's pick a pair that's probably a little bit stronger. So let's have a look at CAD Yen. CAD Yen. So CAD Yen's at the bottom of this zone now. It did end this bearish engulfing. It could. I don't know if I would want to short this any further, just because there is some resistance down here. Let's take a look at the monthly. The monthly. Yeah, I could see this coming down and potentially forming like a monthly inverted head and shoulder pattern.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't really feel the. I mean, yeah. If we get a nice retrace up to the daily 50, I like this level. If we can get a retrace up there, it would be a nice.
To take short.
Then you'd have to trade through the 4-hour 50. So that's another one of those.
Mm.
It looks good on the daily, but by the time it gets up there, you're going to be trading right through the 4-hour 50.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could
Mm,
probably.
I mean, I could see this continuing to go short. It did break below the weekly 50 now. I mean, it is still incredibly bearish. We still haven't formed a higher high or anything. But I think it's
Is
going to come
that
down. I think
weekly? Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Is that weekly channel, that channel that you've got there? Is that kind of a bullish flag, or no?
Um, mm, I don't think so. I don't think so. I kind
Yeah.
of just put this up there just to give me just so that I could see that this is basically a bearish run on the daily, and that there's because I was looking for a lot of bullish price action once we got this low test in this doji.
Yeah.
So I was looking for, so I thought I'd put the channel in there, but yeah, we didn't break.
Okay.
I don't see much potential in this one. I mean, it could come up. We could, I guess, potentially have a long position. Yeah, I wouldn't even want to take a long position. I mean, I had a mock-up in there just because I thought it could be something. And it looks like we have a double bottom here. Is it 1 hour? Do we have like a 1 hour breaking retest? No, we're still. I mean, this could be something that just shows up when I'm doing the daily watch list, but it's
Yeah.
definitely not anything to put on
I mean, we're
the
probably
weekly.
still quite early in a monthly run. I like that rejection of that monthly 50.
Right, right.
So we're still quite early in the monthly run, the bearish run. So yeah, taking a long position would be, for me, it'd be
A bit
I'd be
premature,
nervous to
right?
take it long. Yeah.
Yeah. No CAD yen. Let's see. CAD Swiss. CAD Swiss I actually liked yesterday. I liked the way it was shaping up. It looked like it was shaping up to be a low test, retesting the backside of this trend line here. But the day went bearish instead, and we got a bearish engulfing. I thought this was going to be the beginning of like a lower high and then see price continue up, but it didn't happen. I don't see. I was hoping for some sort of bullish pressure, but I don't see it happening. And now we're kind of at this next key level, bottom of the trend line. I don't really see any more shorts in this. I don't see any longs in this.
Mm.
I think this is something to kind of keep on the back burner, at least for me. I mean, we've already been running for quite some time. This could pull
Yeah.
back and form another lower high before it continues down. I don't see too much potential in this one.
Yeah. What's up, Scott?
Oh, hey Scott. What's up, buddy? Euro Aussie. So Euro Aussie seems to have confirmed the bullish trend change because we came up, we got what could have potentially been a higher high, and then it came down, and now we got our first higher low and a whole bunch of bullish momentum. So I'd be looking for bullish moves on this one. Daily, this could just be profit taking again. It would be nice to see this come up and form another higher high and then come back down to retest the daily 50.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be and it looks like by that time the 4 hour could potentially be up there too. And we're still, I mean, we're forming higher highs. We got that nice double bottom. This was a perfect one of those H450 false break plays, and we continued higher. I like Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie long for the weekly. Again, another Aussie pair. That's actually something I might as well mention it now that I was gonna talk about with Amy when she did her screenshot, and she had, I want to say, 4 or 5 different yen positions open. It was like pound yen, dollar yen, Kiwi yen, Aussie yen, CAD yen, and all the positions were going well in her favor, and that's fantastic. But I just wanted to touch upon that the main goal in this is to only risk 1% and make sure your risk is very, very calculated every single time. And you need to be very careful with that part. And if you take 4 different yen positions, it's kind of the same thing as risking 4%. Because if your analysis on the yen is wrong and all of a sudden bullish yen news comes in, then you lose 4 positions because you have so much exposure to one specific currency. So I tend to, if all 4 of them had beautiful setups, then I would take 2 at the most, just because I don't want to risk 4%, even if they look great. I don't want to risk 4% on one trade. It's just it doing that is very hard to stay consistent in the long term because when you take those kind of losses, I mean that's instant 4% loss, and then you in huge drawdown, and it's going to take you at least a week or two just to get out of that, just because you made one mistake that had to do with you didn't limit your exposure. So I just wanted to touch upon that. That just be careful. I mean, if they look great, pick the best two. Pick the best two. Pick the ones that get the best intraday risk reward or have the best structure. Pick something that really stands out to you and stick with that one, or stick with 2 of them. Just try to be a little and a little cognizant of what could happen. But yeah, with that said, we can continue on. Um, Hey Stevie, glad you joined us. So yeah, you're Aussie on the watch list, another Aussie pair. Let's move on to EuroCAD. EuroCAD weekly. So EuroCAD, we have breakout higher high now on the weekly chart. So this looks like a daily trend change in the making. We did break above the weekly 50. So that goes to show just how weak CAD is. That's why Aussie CAD is kind of a mess. Actually, let's look at the monthly real quick. Monthly on EuroCAD. Monthly on EuroCAD. Now you can see where this bullish pressure. This nice tweezer decel here. It wasn't at the best level in my opinion. I mean, and you're trading right into like the monthly 50, so it's kind of ugly on the monthly chart, but you can see why the bullish pressure stepped in. We got this nice move. We're broken above the weekly 50 now. We are in need of a higher low. Higher low at this 50% 382 level could be a nice break and retest. I like this. I actually like EuroCAD long a lot. It looks like it could be some really, really clean price action, really clean break and retest with a lot of confluence. So I like EuroCAD. Let's add that one to the watch list. Let's do Euro Pound. See if that's given us any more direction. It's kind of thin. With the pound strength coming in, it seems it seems right when the pound strength comes in, Euro strength comes in also. So this one's kind of, I don't like these ones. So we got a doji. I mean, we got another lower high. We still have yet to make a lower low. We're still stuck in this what appears to be a asymmetrical triangle. And an asymmetrical triangle is usually a bullish or a continuation pattern. And we've been bullish, so this could continue up. I mean, we did form this structural inverse head and shoulder pattern that led to this bullish move up. We did get a rejection. We did form a lower high, but I still need more. If we get a nice break and retest, this could be a potential long. If we get a break and retest, this could be a nice short. For me, this one's still on the back burner. We're sitting right at the daily 50, so now we have this daily 50 rejection. This looks like a new higher low, so this could still be bullish. So maybe that asymmetrical triangle is actually going to play out with a bullish breakout. I don't like this enough to keep it on the weekly watch list. I mean, we could maybe Wednesday or Thursday next week just going through the daily watch list to see that this is broken out and come back to retest, and then maybe take it long from there. Yeah, I don't like adding this one to the weekly watch list. The stuff that I like to add to the weekly watch list is stuff that is pretty obvious of where the momentum is. Like Aussie Yen, for example, it has that huge high test tweezer type setup on the monthly, and you can just see where the momentum is. And this one, it's still a little unclear, so I'm going to put it on the back burner for now. Euro yen. Euro yen weekly chart doesn't look too great. The yen pairs seem to be pretty confused right now. So we got what appears to be a potential monthly hammer candle, but the weekly sitting at the weekly 50. We did break down. We got this lower high here. But now it looks like we're forming an inverse head and shoulder pattern almost. So this could be the higher low after this run up. I mean, this isn't a higher high by any means. I mean, we still haven't, I mean, it's a higher high compared to this, but on the weekly chart, we still haven't broke these highs. So I want to see a break of those highs, and then we'll get a new high. As of right now, it feels a little uncertain if price does, I mean, if this is an inverse head and shoulder, we still got to break through the daily 50, and it looks like the weekly 50 is right there too. So if we get a break and retest of both the weekly and the daily, that could signal, it looks like the 4-hour 50 is right there also, that could signal, I guess this is a pretty decent head and shoulder pattern, and I like, well, this is a lower high still compared to this one. So this one's kind of showing its hand, but at the same time, it's still yet to be determined. So no euro yen. It could shape up to be something on the daily, but as of right now, it's still kind of a mess. We're still stuck in this. Is it a higher low or is it a lower high? There's too many EMAs in the way. It's just not very good. Euro Kiwi. So Euro Kiwi is stalling out. It's yet to continue higher, but at the same time, this double bottom led to what looks like a potential first lower high. Well, now we're kind of forming a triple, and we still have yet to break the 4-hour 50 on this. I mean, just look how how good this 4-hour 50 has been holding. It's pretty neat. I don't. I would like to be bullish on this just because we had such an extensive breakout. This isn't giving me anything to really. This is just chop and consolidation because the 4-hour 50s at still were working as support. I don't, and we're still stuck. This one's a lot like Euro Yen, where we don't know if this is a higher low yet, or we don't know if this is a lower high. We're just stuck in the middle. You know, like being stuck in the middle, especially after 2 weeks of just indecision, or 2 days of indecision that are just. You can tell that nobody really knows where this is going because it's just chopping sideways. So no Euro Kiwi for me. Let's take a look at Euro dollar. Euro dollar's been looking kind of, yeah. So Euro dollar weekly, we're still kind of stuck in this. We did get a higher low here, so this could be the start of a bullish trend change. We don't have the higher high yet, and it looks like once we do get the higher high, it'll be a weekly rejection of the 50. We are above the daily 50. I wish this would have formed a higher high. If this would have formed a higher high, I guess. So next week I will be looking for a higher high, and then we come back down, and if we get this nice first higher low after a confirmed higher high, then I'll be convinced that this is bullish, and we could potentially take it up to the next major weekly level, potentially up to here, up to the 111 level. I think if that happens, that's going to be continued dollar weakness, which in turn is going to make the yen stronger, and all these yen pairs are going to continue to go down. And I guess we're kind of waiting and seeing what's going to happen. We didn't get like a confirmed break higher high yet. This is. Okay, I'll keep it on the weekly watch list just because if price does break out and we get a higher high, once we get this first higher low after the confirmed higher high, this could potentially. Let's see how well respected this weekly 50 is. Yeah, I still don't want to trade through the weekly 50. And actually, let's scratch that. This isn't. This is still kind of iffy. I want something clean. Let's do pound Aussie. Pound Aussie. We finally got that break last week. We have this monthly double bottom. We got our little low test doji after 5 of them last week, and we finally got our breakout. We finally got our higher high on the intraday. I mean, this still isn't a confirmed higher high on the daily by any means, but this is the start. This is definitely the start of what could potentially be a long-term trend change. So for the week ahead, I'll be looking for a pullback. It would be nice to get a pullback down to this 4-hour 50. I think the 4-hour 50, the first 4-hour 50 rejection is going to be the ideal entry if you plan on holding this position long. This has a ton of long-term potential, and I think getting in at this first 4-hour 50 rejection could enable you to hold this for months potentially. So I really like Pound Aussie. Pound Aussie is definitely on the weekly watch list. Let's take a look at Pound Swiss. Let's see if Pound Swiss looks a little better than Euro Pound does. Pound Swiss had that nice breakout also. Came back down, retested the H450, and started running up. I didn't actually take this trade. I had it on the watch, and I just kept this position there just to see how well it did. And it ended up hitting the target absolutely perfect, which was pretty cool. Yeah, right. Aussie weakness everywhere. Um, Pound Swiss, I could see this potentially forming a higher low. Let's actually get rid of this position. We could potentially be getting our first. I think this could be a nice 4-hour fake out right here. I think Sunday could open with this tanking all the way down to this level. And then before you know